Hello all you absolutely gorgeous people of the internet, hope you're all doing amazingly well. Today we're going to do a little bit of a stereo in the drift car today. Waste of time, but let me show you what we're doing and why. So for those of you that don't know about this car, this is my VY Calais drift car. This was a budget build to try and do a V6 Commodore for $5,000, which we did, and since then the car has had a heap of other stuff done to it. It was originally an Ecotec, it's now an L67. Still running a 5-speed manual. Full build of this car on YouTube. So basically, what we're doing today, the weather today is just absolute snot outside. It's blowing a gale. It's just finished hailing, and a lot of what I do is mobile mechanic work. I do work from here 1 or 2 days a week, but we're supposed to be working out on site today, and I just can't go anywhere because the weather is terrible. Super windy, raining on and off. So just out of boredom, I'm going to fit a stereo to this, and I thought I might as well film it. The reason why I'm going to do a stereo upgrade in this is when I'm out on track, people are always calling me because I take a lot of mates for ride-alongs and stuff in this car, and people are always calling me wanting to know when I'm coming back to the pits to swap over or whatever. And also when I'm sitting in the pits tinkering with the car, changing tyres, whatever, I've always got music playing. I've always just got the radio on. It's just the stereo, and this is full factory VY Calais. So being a Calais, I think it's an 8-speaker stereo from factory. It's got subs on the parcel shelf and stuff, and it doesn't sound too bad for a factory stereo, but this speaker doesn't work. Every now and then it'll just crackle, but doesn't let out any sound. So I'm going to change the front speakers and change the head unit. The stereo stuff I'm putting in it is stuff that I have here. So I work with Alpine. I do a lot of stereo installs, and I've just got some stuff in stock. I did a wholesale price and ordered a whole bunch of Alpine Type S coaxials ages ago. As you can see, they're pretty dusty. They've been sitting around for a while. I've also got this entry-level Bluetooth head unit. There's no CD or anything. It's just a radio receiver with Bluetooth. And then I've also got a fascia kit. I did have to buy this to do this, so I didn't have that. And I've also got an antenna adapter. I don't know if this is the right one, but we'll find out. So basically, we're going to change the front speakers, and we're going to put a different head unit in it. So we'll start with doing the speakers, I guess. Rightio, so to pull the door trim off, you'll need a little pick tool like this. There's a little cap here for the door handle. Flick that out like that. And there's a screw in behind there. This delta trim, just pull down from the top and that just unclips. Someone's broken this before and glued it on, so that's fine. You need a little pick tool again to get in that little recess down the bottom of that thing to release that red clip, and there's a Phillips head screw in behind there. This mirror switch just clips out as well, and then you've got another screw in behind here. You've got one here, you've got one down here, a couple across the bottom, 1, 2 on the side there, as well as the one behind there. And once you get all those screws out, the door trim will just come off. All right, we've got all of our screws out. Cool. There is a little plastic tab that sits in like a metal brace behind here. So you need to lift the bottom, pull the bottom of the door out and then lift up slightly. Being a Calais, it does have the light in the door, so you will need to unplug that as you take the door trim off, just like that. Here is our factory speaker, just held in with three screws. So we'll undo those 3 screws and remove it. Here's our old speaker, fairly broken and rotten. Probably one of the reasons why it's not working. It attaches with this plug here, and here is our replacement speaker. So much more beefier unit than that. So the connectors are different. All aftermarket speakers have like these little push connectors. Normally what I do is the factory plug, I just strip the wires back and solder on sort of back here and leave the factory plug sitting inside the door. But because this is a race car, I'm actually going to just cut that off altogether, and the little adapter wire, I'll just solder that straight on and just delete this plug altogether and screw the speaker in. Boom, done. All that's left is to put the door trim back on. and this side's finished. Boom, all done. Can't even tell. On to the other side. Right, well for this side, we're gonna try and hit it with the old, it worked. Then give it a little bit of the old, oh wow, that was easy. All done. Onto the head unit. There. Rightio, to pull the factory head unit out of these, it's pretty simple. You've got these 4 holes on the perimeter of the head unit there. You do need special tools that sort of lock in here to pull the, and once they lock into the holes, they undo the clips on the sides of the head unit that retains the head unit, and then you can pull the head unit out. I thought I had some, and I'm sure I do, but I can't find them. So what I'm going to try and use is just a couple of straight picks instead. So I'll unlock side by side. If you don't have picks, you can use a bit of welding wire. If you don't have welding wire, you can even use coat hangers, which I've used before. So there's that. I've just mounted the replacement head unit in the pocket. So it's all looking pretty good. Just screwed in those little brackets on the side. We've got our microphone here for our Bluetooth, so we'll have to run that and mount that. So we'll probably do that first. And I've also made up this little patch harness as well. You can buy little adapters from, Autobarn, super cheap, any car audio shop. Your factory plugs, stereo plugs will plug into these connectors here. And then that's the Alpine plug that goes into the back of the head unit. So this should just be plug and play. I've just gone through and just soldered all of the colored wires together. This brown plug does our speakers, and that's our power, earth, accessories, and electric antenna wire. So that's all that. We won't be using any of the RCAs or anything like that. So I think first things first, we'll go through and get this antenna mounted and get the wire run to sort of where it needs to go. Got our little microphone thing mounted up on the A-pillar there. Wire runs all the way down behind, and it's just coming down here at the moment. Oh, jandle. So now we'll go through and pull out this factory stereo. Ooh, it's got CDs in it. Maximum bass extreme. Life after death. Notorious B.I.G. Respect. Maximum bass extreme disc 2. Alright, let's pull this thing out. Alright, our factory head unit's out. I ended up using a couple of small screwdrivers as well as a couple of picks. Got one in each hole and it came straight out. So that's that. Now, I'll show you what else you need to do. So we have this cage that mounts the factory head unit. That's what it locks into. Down the bottom right-hand corner there, we've got the antenna plug. And then we've got all of our other plugs in the bottom corner. There are a few screws that hold this in. There's one in the center at the back there. And then there's also a couple in behind here. You can just pull this back to get those screws out and then bend those tabs up. And once you do that, that whole cage comes out. And then you just sort of press on these tabs on the side of these plugs to push them through the cage to remove that cage completely. Cool beans, we got that cage out. I've also run up the microphone cable there and put all under the dash back together. So that's all good. So now it's just a matter of plugging in and seeing if stuff works. It's all in and it all works. I haven't fully clipped it in yet because that antenna adapter I got is not the right one. I need it to go the other way around. So I've had to order one of them, which will be here in the next day or two. So once that's here, I'll slide that back out, plug that in, and then clip it back in, and it's all done. Yeah, it's all done. Absolute total waste of time, even though it took all of just under 2 hours to do all of that. So cool. So now I can talk to people on track. So that's conversational. But anyway, gave us something to do this afternoon. If you want to see more content like this, please remember to like and subscribe. And until I see you in the next video, be good to yourselves and each other.